Is what exactly is the clear blue water, the difference between the party's views, the Conservative Party's views on illegal immigration and the winter fuel payments, most especially on illegal immigration and reform? What's the difference?
So, look, perfectly valid questions, and you will have seen that actually in terms of policy propositions, these are things that we've already announced. We had the Rwanda policy, which was a deterrent, and this Labour government has thrown that out the window. I'm yet to hear exactly what Nigel Farage's and Reform's policy actually is on immigration, other than we want to turn the boats around or something. But, you know, you've got to ask the question, we're all asking the question, how? What would they actually do? We have said that we would put a limit, the changes that we've already proposed to indefinite leave for remain, the changes that we'd make to the legal system and the implementation of laws as well. This is a major focus for us. But in terms of these elections, for example, overnight, you are right, Reform have won some seats overnight, for example, based on their promises and leaflets in county councils on immigration. Quite what a county council has to do in these areas, I'm not sure. And that speaks to being disingenuous as well to the public. We don't do that. It's not good to be disingenuous with the public.
I hear you, but it's not good to be disingenuous with the public. That's the reason many would argue that there was a Labour landslide in the last election.
And I say we're learning from that mistake.
You're learning about disingenuousness.
And that is why we will be making sure we use our time in opposition wisely to come up with alternative policies.
Nigel Huddleston, trying not to be disingenuous. One of the things that you'd want the public to know and think about is whether or not there are going to be deals done at the local level and national level with Reform. Kemi Badenoch has ruled it out, but there are rumblings in the party. You know them, briefings. People have mentioned Robert Jenrick, who has a far greater popularity amongst Tory grassroots than Kemi Badenoch does, as do other people, that might be necessary in order to defeat Labour. Is that possible? Is that going to happen?
Well, we will defeat Labour by holding them to account, and that's our job as His Majesty's opposition. In terms of any deals, we only do deals when we want to implement Conservative policies and principles, and I cannot imagine that happening with Reform. Their goal is the destruction of the Conservative Party, even on their website. That's their number one goal. Our number one goal is to create the future of this country and create wealth and prosperity based on sound Conservative values and principles. Of course they're winning with this because they are promising everything to everybody. That is what you can do when you're a protest populist party. But they are not a Conservative party. They don't believe in the same things as we did. Their manifesto last year had £140 billion of unfunded tax and spending commitments. That's not sound money. Nigel Farage's admiration for Putin does not stack up with our values of freedom and patriotism and sovereignty. These are values we hold dear.